Uh-oh, not the right one. All right, welcome in. I'm just taking attendance to let you all in. So we have a lot of students, and it just generally takes a little while. I hope everyone's weekend went well. And it's tough because I want to say each person's name out loud as I take the attendance, but because I'm streaming, that's why I'm like just trying to be cognizant of sensitive information that I let out as best I can. I mean, obviously, if anybody had intent, it's kind of hard to stop certain things, but yeah. So it's a little distracting because again, I want to say everybody's name, but I'm like, okay, well, let's just regulate it a little bit. Welcome in. Just I'm doing my usual thing. I take attendance as I let everyone in. We're just about done and ready to get going. I see the chat. I'll be right with you. What's the first name? Okay. Honestly, I was watching, like, I spent a lot of my time just YouTubing. Like, I was on YouTube just watching random stuff, and I came across this video. It's a TikTok, but this person basically did like a video on like the differences between like American culture and like it started with watching this this TikTok or this video where these British high schoolers tried American snacks for the first time. So that was interesting. They were trying things like flaming hot Takis or something like that. Um, I wonder, like I have questions about these names because these names are like a lot of the names in our class, they're not normal last names, and so it's like it just seems like it might be related to like former presidents of Morehouse, and you know who knows. I had like I want to say Chris Tucker's son was in my class one semester. That was interesting. I never saw Chris Tucker. What's his name? Um, let's see. I don't know who this is. They didn't put their last name. Oh, when I was a student at Morehouse, I was here the same time as Denzel Washington's son. Hang on, I'm just trying to find the student. So Denzel Washington was always at our homecomings. Are they doing homecoming? I just realized it's homecoming season, isn't it? It's about that time. It's usually like October, November. That what? What? Are you serious? Because are you serious? Wow. Are they doing it virtually at Spelman? Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is wild because that's like the crux. That's like one of the highlights of the college experiences, like homecoming. But I mean, homecoming it is different as a student. I mean, it's every y'all have y'all own unique experience because when I was a student there, I mean, I was living in the dorms. I was out of the country for a month one summer. I was just always doing stuff. I was just getting into as much stuff as I could. Yeah, let me see. Okay, let me do a general. So there was a request about attendance grades. You don't really have to stress too much about it as long as you're showing up and you're submitting your assignments online. Again, that grade, whatever you see for an attendance grade, it doesn't go into your grade book. It's just for records, and it only really becomes an issue. Like I think you guys are only allowed maybe two unexcused absences, and on your third one it becomes an issue. But honestly, I wouldn't even press the matter until I see like four, because that's just what it used to be. Get away with it. But yeah, the attendance. I don't want you guys just as long as you keep getting into my once you get into my Zoom, unless I say anything, you've gotten your credit. Um, and the grade that you see for attendance, that's not anything. It's gonna change day by day because I guess it calculates the grade each day. And again, as long as you're just showing up on a regular basis and you're getting your assignment submitted and you show, hey, I do intend to be in the class and I'm here, then I'm not going to stop you, right? So I just don't want anybody stressing about that because that's small potatoes. That's not anything. The main thing. The biggest thing, like if you don't do anything else in my class, just show up and those it's your exams, right? So this is what the top of week 5. So exam 1 was due this morning at like 9 a.m. on Pearson, right? So that's there. That was only over sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So that's there. Honestly, even though all these things have deadlines, I think I went on and automatically factored in an extension and everything just because I know how technology goes. I know how these things go, so it's just like, you can you can work on assignments past the due date with only a 10% late penalty. So if you want an A minus on any assignment, all you got to do is get a perfect score. You have all the way up until the final to get the stuff in. I think we've already discussed that all the homework for the semester is loaded, all the quizzes for the semester are loaded, and we're just waiting on exams. So we took exam 1. I haven't really done anything with you all's grade book yet. I'd have to go through Pearson, and I'll probably update your grades around midterm, like probably after exam 2, and then again close going into the final. Before we just kind of launch into today's activities, how's everyone doing? Anybody want to share like how their experience is going, or like how their weekend was, or how they finding like this experience, or just anything you want to kind of like talk about for a hot second? Anybody want to share? Okay. Hmm. 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 Oh, so that one is just like, is it already just set up and like you had to email her, or like how does that work? Wow. Okay. 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 All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I am glad that you all at least can be on campus, because that's the biggest thing. Like when you go to college, you get to leave home, and like now it's on you. Like when you're at home, your parents, as long as they're all to a degree. Most people have their parents where they can get support, regardless to some degree. But well, it's nothing like when you leave the house and you're like on campus and like, okay, dang, I gotta feed myself. Dang, I gotta like go get food. Dang, I gotta go get groceries. Like that was just fun. Like the first time you just get used to getting your own groceries, and you know, it's just that whole experience. Like that's what college, to me, that's like the biggest part of college, is just being on campus. Um, I found myself like rewatching like the Harry Potters because it's on HBO. They because they're all there, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That's like a British whimsical you know being on campus or whatever. I get it. It's just interesting. Um, okay, I'm trying to think. so like let me see. Exam 1 was there, or it's still there. If you guys don't have specific questions, I'm just going to start working through the next set of assignments. So I've already done lectures for sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6, and I know that those are the topics for exam 2. Right? I finished 1.6 this morning, so that recording is there. I do expect you all to kind of watch these on your own, take notes, and then come to this time period. My intent is to use this time period for Q&A. So like if you have questions from any assignment, I'm gonna go through these questions real quick. If you have questions from any assignment, I'd rather you get help with it from me right now, because the way Morehouse kind of revamped. I'm gonna have to mute this thing because it's distracting. Morehouse has revamped how they do college algebra, and I think it was a step in the right direction. It's a lot less work. So what I mean by that is we have a lot of time factored. We have a lot of time factored into our structure. So that's why it's kind of like you know we can kind of do the things that we do the way that we do it. Give me a second to bring the chat back up. So let me see. Let me kind of scroll through this because I see some updates. Let me see. Student events. Um, Where you said you were marked absent, there was a student saying that he was marked absent. Was that from today or a different day? And honestly, that's why I kind of gave that disclaimer. If there's any kind of errors, as long as you're showing up on a regular basis and you're getting your assignment submitted, I'm not going to let that get in your way. Like, I'm just not going to let it get in your way. You know? Oh, oh snap! What is she sending me? Sorry, I have a friend. She's so silly. Like, just sending random stuff. Anyway, let's see. Showed up. Sorry, we've been late. No worries. I got you. Do we have a midterm? Yeah, midterm is really just exam 2. That's going to be in week, I think it's week 8. So basically, every 4 weeks we have an exam. Week 4, like this past week was week 4, so that's why we had exam 1. For exam 2 during week 8, I do want to do an oral component. I'm leaning towards the oral component being 20% of your grade, but we still having like the Pearson component, right? So Pearson will still be there. It'll be similar to the previous, but I want to just sit down, and the main thing I need to see is you all's face. Now, if you want to get a little creative in your presentation or your delivery, like I'm the technique I'm using an iPad, and like a little bit of software. It's a whole little studio thing I got set up, impromptu studio thing I got set up to make it work. The main thing is when you go to do your oral part, I just need to see your face. So the simplest, the most basic technique, you can just tell me what to write. I'll show the screen, and and we'll go based like that. Um, I've seen where people make their own like plexiglass and reversing the image. This woman made a little video on it. I thought it was fantastic, and it was a really simple construction that she did to make it, and she just wrote like normal, but she was able to like, you know, it looks like she's writing reverse, but she's not. It was real smooth. I like the way she did it. It was smooth. But it was, she had LED lights in it and everything. I can share that video. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just tell me what to write, and I'll write it, and we'll go like that. But the main thing on your end that I need to see, I just need to see your face, and you explain to me how to walk through these. You should, I'm not trying to do anything tricky or anything. I just want to fill it out and see what people are. So that's exam 2. Exam 2 is going to focus more so on sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. I do want to make this disclaimer. Kind of by default, math exams are generally cumulative by default. For instance, you can't talk about the stuff in sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6 without using stuff from 1.1.2 and 1.3, right? So by default, math exams are cumulative. So that's a little bit more information about the midterm. Yeah. So someone said, "Can I ask a question about a question on the exam?" Yeah. Again, we're still doing asynchronous. I'm just here. Really, the real intent of the class time is a Q&A. Because again, we have a lot of time factored in. You got your attendance credit. So we'll be here. I'll be here. Yeah. Take care. Yeah. Someone had a question about something on the exam. I don't know if you screenshotted it or like, are you able to pull it up? Because I know you don't have to ask my instructor. If you can get me a copy of it or just tell me what to write, I can pull it up. Otherwise, because it does kind of change for student to student. So you have to like. I mean, I can pull it up honestly. But if you can pull it up and just tell me what to write, and we'll do it that way. I think that's going to be the best use of our time. Okay, so let me see. Let me check the clock real quick. That wasn't too bad a rant. I've gone on worse rants. So what I would like to do today, since I've already kind of redid the lectures for 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. Today, I wanted to start working on the homework assignments for section 1.4. So now I want to say we all have the same questions. It'll just be different numbers, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and break that open. Hopefully you can get ahead. Yeah. You can ask questions about the exam. You can ask questions about the exam. So I was actually trying to encourage you all to do that during the exam, but I couldn't get any takers, so I was just like, okay, it's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and unsuppress my audio. Yeah, are you there? Did you have your question? Yeah, I can hear you now. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me make sure. Okay, let me see if I can pull that up. Give me a moment. Because it shouldn't. Keep going. Do you have the rest of it? Hmm. Okay. Let me see. Because I think we did do something like that. That sounds familiar. Let me look at something real quick. Wish I had my book. You said it was on the exam. Let me go to the exam. Give me a moment. Here. And I just want to view it. Start the test. That's fine. No. Let me go here. Manage. Give me just a moment. So like if it were homework, then you could click on the Ask My Instructor and it would take me straight there. But I know because it's the exam, it doesn't have that feature. Give me a second. Oh my God. Proctoring options. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that later. Let me close this out right here. Can we preview? Preview. Come on. All right. I don't want to edit. No, this isn't it. Select. I know it probably won't let me get to that screen that I need to get to. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna have to do, because give me a moment. Leave the page. Preview. Can I list the questions? All right. So he said it's the last question. It's an application. So from the textbook, that it came from section 1.3, and it's going to be question either 64, 65, 67, 69, or 75. It's one of those five. So if we go okay, so I'm gonna pull it up. 64, 65, basically 64 to 75. Let me pull it up right now. So I'm gonna pull up the book. I can pull it up here. Let's go. Here, I'll do this. Create an assignment, homework. And then I just gotta find it. I'm just gonna say blah, blah, blah. Next. I know it's eating up a lot of time. Okay, let me go to section 1. I know you can't see. I'm still pulling it up. I'm gonna go to section 1.3, functions, right? So that was a functions topic. And then I said it started about 64, so it's one of these. A store throws, no, it's not that one. A certain drug. Okay, so let me pull this up. And let me at least, I know I'm not streaming it on YouTube, but let me at least share it for you guys. So I'm gonna share, and I'm gonna show you where this comes from. We want this one. We want this one. I think this is the other one. I'm gonna share. Okay. So I think it's this one. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Okay. Okay. So let's kind of work through this one, right? So it says a certain drug has been prescribed. So this is this comes from section 1.3, question 65, right? So I know when you're taking the exam, you can't see the question ID, so that's why I did all this so we could find it. So it comes from section 1.365. It's an application of functions. It says a certain drug has been prescribed to treat an infection. The patient receives an injection of this one is. I know the numbers might be different from yours, but we just kind of adjust. The patient receives an injection of 20 milliliters of the drug every 4 hours. During the same 4-hour period, the kidneys filter out 1/4 of the drug. Yeah, we did this one together. It was a little bit kind of, Find the concentration of the drug after 4 hours, 8 hours, blah, blah, blah. Sketch the graph, right? Let me see. A certain drug has been prescribed. The patient received an injection of 20 milliliters. And I know we did this one. Huh? I just got to think about it for a second. Where is it? Work problem as a student. Where is it? No, that's not what I'm looking for. No. Where is it? Okay. 4 hours. A certain drug has been prescribed to treat an infection. The patient receives an injection of 20 milliliters of the drug every 4 hours. During the same 4-hour period, the kidneys filter out. So find the concentration. Is this linear? 4 hours, 8 hours. Sketch the graph of the concentration. Let me see something. Which one is it? It's not linear. Concentration after 4 hours. Let me see. Patient received an injection of 20 milliliters of the drug every 4 hours. So, okay. So for instance, I guess initially they would receive 20 milliliters, right? So like at the start, they should start at like 20 milliliters. And then, every 4 hours it goes up by 20 milliliters, right? But then it says during the same 4-hour period, the kidneys filter out a quarter. So it's going to be removing what? A fourth of the drug, right? So like if you look at a 4-hour period, it should be coming down. Like after 4 hours, it should. Okay, so let's do this. I think I got it now. Okay, so I'm gonna hop over to my tablet. So I think we got a sense of this question. I'm gonna hop over to my tablet so we can like see so you can see what I'm writing. But I'm just gonna kind of talk about this one for a moment. Paper like this. Okay, so it says a certain drug has been prescribed to treat an infection. The patient receives an injection of 20 milliliters. So I'm just taking some notes. 20 milliliters every 4 hours. All right. And then, but it says during the same 4 hours, the kidneys filter out 1/4 of the drug. So kidneys filter 1/4 of the drug every 4 hours. Okay. Find the concentration of the drug after 4 hours. Okay, so then it says to find concentration. Okay. At 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Let me see, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20 hours. Okay. And since we have this thing here, I'm going to just go ahead and use these results. We know this one should be this. Milliliters. And we'll just use this as a primer. Okay. So let's hop over here. And let's take a look at this, right? So these are the notes that I just took. It says 20 milliliters, and let me show it here for the people here. Okay, that's showing. So it says a certain drug is administered where it's 20 milliliters every 4 hours, right? So let's think about it. For instance, let's look at the time versus the concentration, right? Say we're just starting, so the time is 0, right? Initially, when you first treat the patient, what are you going to do? They're going to take 20 milliliters of this drug. So what's the concentration at the start? When they first start, they're going to have 20 milliliters, right? And then after 4 hours, right, we got to think about what happens. So it's only going to be 75% of this remaining, right? So it should be what? It's basically going to be the previous thing, which is this, times 75% of that, all right? But then also at that time, you're going to add, it's going to be approaching this point, but then we're also going to add another 20, right? So it looks like a formula for each, because then the next one is going to be whatever, I'm just going to call that star, I'm just going to say it's equal to star, whatever that number is. So then if we look at 8 hours, it should be the same kind of deal, right? Let me see. It's going to be 75%, right? So if we take whatever that answer is, I'm just calling it star. We take that answer, 75% of that is going to be remaining, and then we're going to add another 20, right? So let's see. 15. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so I think that the answers that they wanted was before they took the 20 milliliters. Because So it does kind of help that we did have the result, because looking at the result, right? The person when they started with 20 milliliters. After, let me move this out of the way. After the 4 hours, 75% is remaining, so that's where the 15 came from. Then once they log the concentration, then they add 20, and I guess they wait another 4 hours. Does that make sense? So the first concentration was what? At time 0 was 20 milliliters. And then at 4, it was 15 milliliters, right? So that's when we record it. Then we give them the next 20 and we wait. So I think that's what was going on, was the order in which when do we record and all that, right? So now if we go ahead and give them 20 at this point, what is that, 35? So then now the next one should be 35, 75% of 35, right? So what I'm saying is, does that make sense? Okay, so let me just make sure these numbers work out. So if they have 35 milliliters and 75% is remaining, let me get the student. Let me make sure this number works. We should get 26.25. That's promising. Let me just run it through my calculator real quick. I'm glad you asked that question. That was good. I had to think about it. 35 times 0.75. Yeah, right? So it was just the order. I felt like you got it, but even I almost made the mistake of adding the 20 and then trying to record it. They wanted us to record. Yeah, that was the thing there. But because of stuff like that, like, hang on, let me get this attendant. Because of stuff like that, that's why I do unlimited attempts, right? Just to try to catch stuff like that. So like, if you really want to improve it, then you just go back, and I know how much of a pain it is, but that's the but yeah, and it's a choice, and it's going to be different for each person because it was a pool. So it's like, everybody's not going to get that question. But that was a good question. But I feel like if that was the only one that tripped you up, I think you'll be fine, right? That was really good. I like that. That was fun. Because I had to think. I was like, dang, it wasn't like automatic. I like it when I had to think. What's the time? Okay, we got a solid like 10 minutes. That was good. Anybody else want to ask questions before I just kind of like jump into stuff that we've already done? Mm. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. It'll be. I'm telling. It'll totally be okay. Like, as long as you're just coming on a regular, you make it clear that you intend to be in the class and you get your assignment submitted. I'm not gonna let that stop you. Like, just be here and it'll be fine. Yep. Yep. Okay. I feel like the rest of the question kind of works itself out from that point. Because we successfully got the first couple of ones, and we can verify that the rest of them work. And first, I had to think about the concept of, like, okay, how should the graph look? But and we kind of got lucky because it tells us the answer is here. And so when you see the options and you think about it, oh, they start at 20 and then it's going to decrease. Then you increase by another 20, and this makes sense as far as the presence of the drug. Okay, so that was interesting. I'm gonna hop back over to, where is it? Let me close this one out. Is that the one that I needed? Come on, maybe that was. Okay. Let's go back here then. Let's go to assignments. So today, I mean, we don't have that much time, but that doesn't. I can still go ahead and get started. 1.4 library of functions. So again, we've done the lecture for this. It doesn't hurt to go back. Make sure you watch those lectures. There should be. It's a playlist. If I need to, I can load a copy of the link in the chat. But it's on my YouTube channel. It's one playlist for updated lectures. And let me just make sure this is displaying properly. It's this one. Is that the right one? I think that is. That looks good. If I go like this, full screen. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so let's take at least like 10 minutes and just go ahead and get started on section 1.4. So section 1.4, what is that? Functions, man. Library of functions, right? Yeah. So we're just kind of going a little bit back and forth on these concepts of functions. So I think the previous in section 1.3, we introduced some notions or concepts behind functions. So in section 1.4, what we were doing, we had a list of basic functions that we were using to start piecing together some of these images, right, and creating graphs and getting a sense for what the graphs of solution should look like. The list of library of functions, I think the first one we may have talked about was a constant function, like y equals some number. That's just going to be a horizontal line through that number. The next is the identity function, y equals x. That's just going to be a diagonal line. Then we had like the squaring function, which is like y equals x squared, which is like a parabola, so on and so on. So we had like that list that we talked about. So that's what this section is about, just kind of exploring and like getting comfortable with this library of functions. So let's look at this. This one asks us to write a linear function. Man, that was deep. How did you know about sequences and series? I just realized, I was like, we shouldn't have no sequences and series here. I was like, probably a tutor told you that, like a tutor or somebody, or either you like may have taken pre-cal or something like that, but or like calculus. Yeah, that's okay. No. It's totally okay. It's okay. Um, So yeah, write a linear function that has the indicated values. Sketch the graph of the function. So it's a straight line. Let me just go ahead and write this one out. Let me think about it. They give us the y-intercept because when x is 0, y is 11. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Let's share. Come on, share. It is this one and this one. Cool. And it's right here. Zero screen share. Okay. So when x is 0, y is 11. So we have our y-intercept, and we need the slope, right? Is it 1? Positive? Yeah. I'm just not writing this one out. If I need to, just let me know. X plus 11, I think that's it. I'm going to go with it. Yeah. So I used y equals mx plus b, right? So for the slope, we have the slope formula, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x2 minus x1. When you do that, you should get a slope of 1. And they gave us the b, which is the y-intercept, is right here. So then they gave us b, we found the slope, and then I just plugged it into y equals mx plus b without writing it out. So then I think the only one that looks proper is a, with the proper intercepts, the x-intercept and y-intercept. Sorry, I think I got to reverse. X-intercept and y-intercept. Yeah, that feels better. Right here. Let's go here. Check the time real quick. Okay, I'll keep you for about, no more than like about, I don't want to keep you past 2:45. That's usually when I let everybody go. Just so, because I got to get ready for the next class. I write a linear function that has the indicated values. I'm going to write this one out. Okay, so let me start by taking some notes on my tablet. Let's see. This is question number 2. Come on. This comes from section 1.4, question number 5. Write a linear function. So I'm going to say, find a linear function. Linear function. F of negative 1 equals 1, and f of 4 equals 21. Okay. So let's do like this, like this. It should change for those guys. That looks fine. Okay. Huh. That's cut off. That's okay. All right. So basically, we're finding a linear function. So we're basically given a set of ordered pairs, right? So the first one is negative 1, comma 1. Because when x is negative 1, y is 1. The second one, when x is 4, y is 21, right? So so basically we're finding the equation of the line through these 2 points. I generally like to automatically go, when I get a set of ordered pairs, I'll go x1, y1, x2, y2. I just automatically label them. I'm also a fan, let me see, we're using, since we want the equation of a line, generally whenever I work lines, I have 3 formulas automatically ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the one that I know that we need. So I know we're gonna need the slope, right? So slope between 2 points. That's gonna be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I know I mentioned like whenever we have, hopefully you have a formula sheet that already has these ready to go where you can just reference it. Easy to find. So then our y2 is 21, y1 is 1, x2 is 4, x1 is negative 1. Notice my use of parentheses. Whenever I have a negative number, I put it inside the parentheses. So my friend earlier just sent me this silly meme while I was teaching. We always complaining about adulting because it honestly starts where you guys are now. Who is this? I think he's from my next class. I'm gonna hold out. It starts with you guys now, where you are now, where you have to start making decisions for yourself and thinking ahead. And it just don't stop. I came across this quote that was like, things don't get easier. Life doesn't get easier. We just get stronger. I was like, oh, that's what's going on. But so we're always like talking about adulting. And so she sent me this thing like bills, electricity, water, eating, when our virus go by, it's like Captain Planet, but it's adulting. I was like, yeah, I get it. Because it's just like, it's so crazy. Anyway, but it's fun, Anyway. So when we keep going, I think this one is done. That's 20 over what, 5? 20 divided by 5 is 4. Right? So that's our slope. So we have the slope. Okay, we don't have the y-intercept, so let's find it. So I'm going to plug these into the formula. This what is this? Slope-intercept. I'm just a fan of this one. Intercept. All right. Slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. I know you can also do the point slope, and that one's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like it's more algebra, and I feel like that is worse for people. So I prefer this one because it just seems more simple. So I'm going to choose the first point. I'm going to let y be 1. We just found the slope to be 4, and the x is negative 1. The only thing we don't know is b. All right. So if we solve for b, so then b is going to b is going to be equal to, I add what, 4 on both sides? It's going to be 1 plus 4, which is 5. So then the equation of my line is going to be y equals 4x plus 5. Now, and if we wanted in function notation to be consistent, it should be, we can just replace the y with f of x equals 4x plus 5, right? So our claim is that this should be a linear function, the linear function passing through those 2 points, okay? And then we just want to verify before we submit. So when x is negative 1, the output should be 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, plus 5 is 1. So that one checks out. So this one checks out. When x is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 5 is indeed 21. These both work on this line. So I'm going to submit this result. Let's hop over, I think it's this one. Okay. And I think we can do one more. He's going to have to wait. I don't know if he's in the next class or not. With the function that we got, 4x plus 5. 4x plus 5. Now, I'm starting to think about like stocks. So I've only recently started researching stocks, and I've had minimal success on it. But there are people younger than me that got to figure it out, and that's what they do for a living. And it's like I'm trying to learn from them. And which one is it? Like all of them? What broker do you use? Oh, Ameritrade. Okay. Yeah, because because I had I was there when that whole Robinhood stuff. After that stuff with Robinhood, I don't want to use them no more. And that's not options. I was doing Forex at one point. I had I forgot what I had, but I got rid of it. And so I've been looking for another broker. But you said Ameritrade. I'll try it out. Like honestly, if you can figure that out, that's all you really need. The rest of it, like don't, because I'll start ranting on like all this stuff because it's like as long as you can feed yourself and take care of yourself, the rest of it works itself out. Like, with education, honestly, if you have the money, you can pay somebody to do it, but you don't want to be at their mercy. Like, you definitely want to educate yourself. I see the power in it because if you're not aware, it's just a game of awareness. Like, if you're just not aware of stuff, people take advantage of you. I mean, that's just what happens. They just try to fly under the radar and they just try to get over on you, and they like don't think nothing of it. Um, so to me, that's what education is. It's like as long as you're aware of it, then you kind of know what to do. That's the biggest thing. Um, but that's only to me. Education is just one part of the coin. You still need to like actually have success, like in the sense that you can take care of yourself, your loved ones, and your community. And the more people, to me, the more people you can take care of, to me, that's the mark of true success. Like I really like what's his name? What's the guy? Not Dwayne Wade. What's the Space Jam guy? What's his name? Oh my god, I can't think of his name. Thank you. I was listening. Yeah, LeBron James. James, like you know, he made his money in gaming, but he takes care of his people. Like he takes care of things. He takes care of people. Not only himself and his family, but his community. Like he gives back and he takes care of people. Like to me, that's the mark. That's the mark of like you know an advanced individual. Somebody that's not so centered on themselves. Because I mean, to do for yourself, that's great. But if you can do for like the more people you can take care of, you know, to me, that's the mark of somebody that's truly advanced. Not to go on a rant. Okay, I think that actually gets us to time. Let me just finish out this question. The slope is 4, y-intercept is 5. And so this stuff is fine, but unless you can like bring it to life in your own way, because everybody has like a unique perspective and has something, like we need everybody here. Like nobody is not without value. We need each and every person. Now, majority of society isn't aware of it, but I'm aware of it. I know that we need everybody because you guys are aware of things that I'm not aware of, and I'm aware of things that you aren't. So only way we get a sense of the whole picture is that we have to work together. And when I say you guys, I mean not only my students, but even the people that just those ornery people that's just like so you know off-putting. They still have a piece of the puzzle that we need. And it's just a matter of getting them to say, hey, get past your ego. We got to get past this stuff, and we got to work together to figure this thing out. This thing of life, but you know, we're still stuck on stupid with like trying to hate, and I'm like, why? But that's just me. Don't get me started, because I'll launch into it. But that's time. I don't really want to keep you guys any longer than that. I feel like you're finding your way. Just keep submitting your stuff, and I'm just here to support you and nudge you on your way and help you to keep moving. Okay. But I see greatness. I can see it because only certain people can come in my field, and not just anybody can come in my realm. So if you're in my presence, I already know who you are. I'm just trying to get you to see it. Anyway, guys, it's awesome. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Okay, same time, same place. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop the stream.